welcome back to Books to Huda. I'm Sandy, and I'm filming at night for the first time. Well, the sun is setting, so I'm apologizing if this is a little too dark, but I just really wanted to film because today Dominic Sherwood was announced as the new cast for Jace in the Mortal Instruments, and so I wanted to talk about my favorite adaptations of young adult fantasy books. I've watched a couple really good booktube videos about that kind of thing recently, and so this will be the first in a series of my favorite film adaptations. I made something from IKEA. I am a huge fan of the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices, and I was very sad when the movie did not perform all that well. I actually went to see it 5 times in cinemas, and I realized there were a lot of things that they changed about the book when they made it into a movie that weren't great, and I'm sure that's part of why it didn't do very well. I loved the original cast on a whole, but I can understand some of the things that people didn't like. For example, the way that they dubbed over Magnus Bane's actor's voice with his own voice without the accent. The character is supposed to be from a different land. Come on. Anyway, so I was very excited when Cassandra Clare and the collaborating artist made that tarot deck of Shadowhunter cards, and I picked out my favorites, i.e. the ones with all of my favorite characters on it, and made this thing. It sadly doesn't really fit on my wall right now, but I love it so much. So I guess we'll start with the Mortal Instruments film. I was very excited about this. I started reading the books because I saw the trailer and loved it, so I need to read it before it gets to theaters. And then I saw it twice on opening day and made a great friend. Hello if you're watching, you know who you are. So we bonded over Jem being our favorites as opposed to Will, and that's all it took. Best friends. But here's the book, The City of Bones, and here's the film, The City of Bones, and this is sadly the only film that will ever be. But the TV show, I'm excited to see how they, change it and do things. As more casting announcements happen, I will continue to be excited. Yeah, I bought tons of crap. Like, I don't even know what this is. Like, some tiny box with temporary tattoos. Pretty cool. I went dressed up as a Shadowhunter for Otakon 2014. I'll insert a picture of that here if I can figure out how to do it. Back to this. And then one more piece of memorabilia, because I was very obsessed with this film. Mostly because I loved the world so much. Just, as long as they're doing something with the Shadowhunter universe, I am happy. As long as Cassandra Clare is still writing her beautiful prose, I will be happy. Moving on to the next one. And since we're discussing Dominic Sherwood, why don't we talk about Vampire Academy? Here's the first book. I have all 6. I've only read the first 3.5 because I was getting so obsessed with this series that I was not doing my homework. So last February, before Valentine's Day, I made myself quit reading, and now I have not finished. So I'm in the middle of book 3, which is a very bad place to be if you know what's happening at that point. But yes, I have this book, and then here is the film, which also did very poorly at box offices. I really loved it. If you love the books, give this movie a shot. You don't have to think it's the greatest movie ever made. It's not, but it is fun. The soundtrack is great. They did a great job with that. Next up, I'm sure this won't surprise anyone, Divergent. It did well enough to get a sequel. Out of all the ones to do well enough to get a sequel, I don't know if this would have been my choice, but I do love the casting for this, though. Here is the first book. I love Kate Winslet as the person whose name I can't remember right now. Theo is 4 is kind of perfect, so you can't really beat that. You can't really talk about film adaptations of YA books without discussing The Hunger Games. I finally bought all of the films because Target had this on sale, the Blu-ray, for $8. I'm a bargain shopper if you don't know. So this was on sale for $8. This was on sale for $10. This was on sale for like $14. I don't know. So, marathon? I don't even need to say that I love the casting. Stanley Tucci, as my brother and I call Stanley Tucci, as Caesar Flickerman is one of the best things to happen to me in my whole life. Oh, one that I have not read the book, but I want to. Gillian Flynn's Gone Girl. Loved the film. Loved it. The dialogue was so impressive, and when I found out that the woman who wrote the screenplay also had written the novels, like, I need to read those pronto. Went out and bought it the moment after we were out of the theater, and then I have not even opened it because I have so much other homework to do. So, soon. And finally, one that is not going to, some of you may not have heard of it, but some of you may remember. There was a Cartoon Network movie of Leonard Nimoy, R.I.P., plays Mounshroud, this guy flying around in the background, in Ray Bradbury's The Halloween Tree. Ray Bradbury narrates, and I've watched this so many times as a kid, and I actually taught it last semester around Halloween in my Comp 1 class, and my students really liked it. So I am now, I'm going to watch it every year on Halloween. So those are my favorite young adult film adaptations. Please let me know which ones you love, and I'll see you again soon. Books to Hoona! Thanks for watching.